Okay, this video diary is about the prank calls. I'm going to give you, let you hear the voicemails for the prank caller, and you can tell me if you think the voice sounds familiar. It's also about the gang stalker friends. Okay, so if someone can enlist people to threaten you on a whim, prank call you, churches to conspire, family members to conspire, and with abuse and harassment and mind games, armies full of others, why wouldn't that party just make friendships? Well, I've had bizarre friendships. Like I had one church member, they knew that I was isolated, going a lot of abuse and torment, and I reached out for the multiple different churches for help, mentorship. All of them denied it. I was so desperate. I even tried to get an AA person to sponsor me. They denied it. All different kind of places online. She said this happened, that happened, and never could sponsor me. Online, I tried to get help. For another program, a sponsor that didn't work out. Then I had a narcissistic sponsor that was really good. She said she was going to help me. Then she locked me. I got locked out of the meetup group and never could get back in it. This is the things that I really can't talk about because I know that people would not believe my online experiences are manipulated. So grief share. All these people would share the grief share. They check in with you. They give you resources. They refuse to do it for me at Oakcliff Bible Fellowship grief share. They would not do it. And then I told them my life was in jeopardy. That's where they said they forgot. Then I two months later or a month later, I said, "You forgot my life was in jeopardy." He's like, "Tell me again." And then he wanted me to go to a mental hospital to flee abuse. So mind games, and I said, "I want to remind you that conspiracy to violate rights is a felony charge." Then he gave me safe haven in Fort Worth, but I lived in Dallas. So, but nonetheless, this is the voicemails. First, I want you to see. So, I had a person text me on Facebook, okay, and they told me to call them, text them. So, I texted them and was ignored. So, another person invites me to the store. I said yes, and I was ignored. The reason why I'm recording this is a pattern. So another church member, they, like I said, knew that I was going through a great amount of distress. They would exclude me from church functions at this particular church. And I said I'd like to go. And then I would get like bizarre treatment. Like, they didn't want me to go. And I don't know why they treated me like that. Another church member gives me pictures to his barbecue. I didn't ask him. Everything that he's barbecuing up for an event, then I think he's inviting me because that's bizarre. You know that I'm desperate for human contact and what the government's done, and you're sending me all these sausage, pork chops, and he says that he's having a barbecue. And common sense, if you're sending me all these pictures, you're inviting me, right? It didn't happen. Okay, the same person invites me to a party, then ignores me on the day of the party. So, but multiple people, like 3 or 4 people at one time in my life, would text me and then would ignore me. So I would be in tears. And then I realized someone's doing this deliberately, knowing that you can't prove it. Then I have all this going on. Online, I'm trying to get help. Someone told me about support group. I still can't get on it now. You look up support group online, and I looked it up, and it was missing. I said, I don't see that. She said, no, it should come up. So when I started recording it, then it came up. But a support group site was missing. Each time I searched it, I got no search results. So I got my phone out years back and it came up, but it's not coming up again. Like the site no longer exists. When there's apps that I like for affirmations and different things of that sort, the app will say, I have another app that said that this was discontinued. I loved it. Now I have to go through this other app that has commercials in it, and it's, I don't like it as much. But I find it highly suspicious that these apps discontinue. I'm locked out of narcissistic groups. And then on the grief share from Oakcliff Bible Fellowship, everybody could share freely. When I started sharing about my grief from what the government done, they disconnected me from the Zoom. So if you're going to churches that are covering for you getting violated in schemes and leave you in it, but I repeatedly kept moving to get nowhere. So can you imagine, how your life would be If you were forced to be in a church that was controlled by your abuser, knowing that full blown well, they know that they have to leave you in that party's abuse and just pretend like they're not being manipulated and controlled. But that you'd have to prove something like that is happening, and that's what I'm trying to do. So back to the prank calls.
194179393 received yesterday at 5:09 p.m.
Yeah. You are such a victim. Why don't you talk about how Jason left the fucking restraining order on you, even though you insist he's stalking you? And in fact, why don't you stop going around saying that? You lost your kid in malice. You were abusive and neglectful to them. You make everything about you and you waste fucking taxpayer dollars shitting fucking pushing this narrative that you're some sort of victim. And I don't fuck with it. Neither does the internet. So let me tell you this. Nobody's gang stalking you. Okay? You're the one stalking Jason. Okay? You lost your kid. You were a shit mother. Okay? And if you really cared, then why haven't you sent them anything? Why haven't you sent them money for new clothes? Why haven't you sent Michaela any letters or apology? Not your gaslighty bullshit.
The stepmom called me at like 9 saying that I could write Michaela. I find this ironic.
Everything by yourself. You want your life to get better? Take schizophrenia treatment, because otherwise it's
the same day.
You're going to stay homeless.
To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press 7. To save, press 9. For more options, press 6.
Boy, we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. Jason Gardner sent this all the way from the UK.
This is another message.
I know the number's in Florida, but it's not it. Or whatever the fuck it says. So my point is that you need to stop. Alright? All the gang stalking, all this bullshit will stop because you're a liar. You lie about
I think they're trying to disguise their voice.
You lie about leaving benefits. You lie about your kids get taken away. We know you got taken away because you was fucking abusive to them. Alright? So you better not fuck about, because Jason Gardner, he knows the truth.
To replay this message, press
Kiana, it's Big Bird Gang. We're calling you. Stop calling the police. Stop posting everything. We know you lost your kids because you were abusive. So cut the crap out.
To replay this.
Why? First of all, it's me.
This is a couple.
Why do
weeks
you
ago.
constantly say that you are a victim and that you have an abuser? Like, first of all, you're the one who's been stalking Jason for years. He's done nothing to you. You never even dated him or met him. And you're on this big crusade saying that you're a victim. In addition to that, you claim that you're a victim of domestic abuse and violence, but you literally lost custody of your kids for abusing them and neglecting them. In addition to that, you refuse to get any sort of mental health treatment because I don't have schizophrenia, as you put it. You do have schizophrenia. You suffer from delusions. You're homeless because you're so mentally unstable. You lost your car. You're on the streets of Victoria now instead of Austin. You should probably get you that court date, by the way, coming up. Then you refuse to do even a simple thing like get mental health treatment and at least try schizophrenia treatment and take the meds to see if you actually need it. Like, what's wrong with just trying medication out? If you don't have schizophrenia, it's not going to work. So why even deny it? Like, and you'll get trauma treatment with the schizophrenia treatment. They will treat your trauma. It's just you have to agree to a treatment. Otherwise, they're not going to do jack shit for you. But I know that what you're probably going to do is you're probably going to say you're the victim. I know you uploaded on the 3rd and complained about the same old, how you're not getting victim services, but you're not a victim. You are the problem. You have been the problem. And the sooner that you acknowledge that, the sooner that you will actually get better. You've been doing this for years. You've been doing this since the pandemic. That's been years now. And instead of actually trying to fix your life and fix your clear problems that make you this abusive person, you decide to blame everybody else instead of looking inward and being like, shit, maybe I'm the problem. Don't you think that with a little bit of self-awareness, you could look inside of yourself and be like, hey, I've tried every other avenue. maybe I'm the problem. Like, why would people, like, and the people who are, these clean people follow you in their cars. You jaywalk across the street and cars stop to let you pass instead of running you over, which I'm surprised hasn't happened yet, or whatever. But you claim they're following you. You claim the police is in on it when all they do is literally just respond to your fake 911 calls. You've been charged so many times for fucking misusing 911. It's just ridiculous. It's hard to keep track of. And in addition to that, you probably were the good working people of all the places that you inhabit and wander the streets and treat them like shit. And then when they turn around and want you out of their place, you accuse them of harassment. You accuse them of what? Being part of the government, being gang stalkers? Gang stalkers don't fucking exist. Okay? They don't fucking exist. And they certainly don't exist for you. Okay? And like, I'm so tired of...
So I guess it cut off.
To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press 7. Press 9. For more options, press 6.
Let's get the date and
To
time.
replay this message, press 1. To forward this message, press other information, press 5. To delete, received Sunday, 6th April 2025 at 10:29 a.m.
Okay, well, that's when it was sent. So the reason why I took my time out is that I have the gang stalkers and gang stalking friends. So these friends, when my abuser and the government was mad, they would punish me. They would call me and I would be so desperate and excited and then call me and then say, I'm going to call you back. Like people from the church would call that I've talked to, tried to get help with 2 or 3 months. They call. And then I would be on the edge of my seat. Yes, this is so-and-so from so-and-so church. Yes, I'll call you back. And then never hear from them again. And like I said, I would be in tears. And then I realized that this was deliberate. Hey, this is Sister so-and-so. Oh, hey. I text back, hey, what are you doing? Hi, how are you? Never respond again. Or respond 2 or 3 days later. So these people were repeatedly, family members would do it. They would initiate conversations with me to ignore me. So then when it repeatedly kept happening, I realized they were being controlled and the tears minimized, but I still had the pain that I had relationships and these church members were being controlled for mind games and abuse. And they did it. You say, you can say it's all in my mind. Well, can you explain why at Oakcliff Bible Fellowship, they said that we can call the police together? And I said the police were my bullies, but we can go ahead and do it. Then they slandered me and said that I was resisting every attempt that they made to help me because conspiracy to violate rights is a felony. So they slandered me to validate their reasoning for leaving me in the abuse. Then my phone stopped recording the cover for the police department coming and removing me for trying to flee abuse. But keep in mind, the police department came to New Beginnings in Garland and assaulted and arrested me for attending the support group in corruption. Then came to the Plano location. Then when I started recording them, then they started working behind the scenes and they made sure I did not get assistance to flee their abuse even at church. Evidence of me not being able to get assistance at church is me being assaulted and arrested, well, not assaulted and drugged out of Inspiring Body of Christ Church in Dallas, off Westmoreland, then given a criminal trespass. Evidence that I was being illegally monitored. I walked up to this huge church and 3 or 4 people met me outside and told, in a rage, telling me I had a criminal trespass for being assaulted on their property.